and listening to this divinely guided message. Yesterday's message was so powerful. I was in the mall and I was walking around and my phone was absolutely having the best signal. But then when the message was getting so good, when I rewatched it, I realized there was like some type of lag, even though for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, I was standing literally in the same spot, and the message, the video started to get messed up. Let me tell you, when I speak the truth, it be energies out there that don't be wanting y'all to hear this message. Although the audio of it was perfect, I hope you still had a chance to listen to the message about how God wants you to end karmic cycles. It was so powerful that all of my videos I can download, but this video, that message, it couldn't be downloaded. I couldn't save it to my device. I was trying to upload it to an MP3 to change it to just an MP3 audio so that I can just put a still image up there so you can still hear it. And it was just like not trying to get downloaded. It's okay. The message is going to reach exactly who it needs to reach. Today's message that came to me in meditation was, if your career choices, and I've said this before in a previous message, is your career choices in alignment with God? I'm going to spill the tea, right? Because God uses me directly as an example to learn and to heal and to share my life with others, okay? So for whatever reason, my algorithm is very sacred, right? I just get all the positive spiritual messages. I listen to collective readings because that's my form of entertainment. But for whatever reason, Scandal, Olivia Pope, and Fitz have come up in my algorithm. I used to be really into that show. When I wasn't conscious, I was all about being sucked into the drama of fake television, right? And so that is programming as well. And so Olivia Newton-Pope, the woman that played her role, a very beautiful woman, she's a married woman. I'm not sure about the other guy that played Fitz, if he's married, but this was the message about Hollywood, right? Hollywood will have you feeling like what they are doing is okay. They're acting, okay? But if you're married and you're in a sacred relationship, ain't no amount of acting would allow someone to be cheating on a spouse, okay? When you're kissing and allowing your body to be touched by someone that's not your sacred partner, when you're having these intimate scenes, that is not in alignment with God. God didn't say you could share your body with somebody because you're getting paid for that. Like, so you getting paid, now your boundaries of your sacred relationship are allowed to be altered. Oh, no. That's absolutely wrong, okay? And it just God put on my mind that realize what you're doing. I don't care how many millions of dollars that you're getting paid to do any type of job. Realize your actions, right? Do you have a price tag? Because God did not allow for you to be a married person and then be kissing. Let me tell you, that acting be real good, that it had me feeling some kind of way. I'll be turned on watching the show. Like, damn, they doing a really good job. That chemistry is for real. No. That stuff is wrong. You do not be in a position where you say your marriage is sacred and you kissing on somebody or you have your body parts showing on a screen because that's your job. But what about God? I don't give a fuck about your job. What about God? Like, in my mind, constantly, God shows me all of my actions and all of my intentions and all of my behaviors be like, what would God do? Right? What would God do? That's saying WWJD. What would Jesus do? What would God do in this situation? That's where my mind be. And so it had me also remember, was it last year, 2 years ago, I was in a situation where I was messing around with a male dancer who I met at a bachelorette party, okay? And so that didn't last long, obviously. God taught me a lot about that relationship. For one, if you honor and respect yourself, you're not shaking your body around for money, because all you're doing is allowing lustful energy to come towards you. And you should never be in a lustful energy because, first of all, that's lower vibrational frequencies. You all up in your root chakra and your sacral chakra, and none of that is is pure heart, right? That's just straight lust. And negative forces and negative energies be wanting you to be in that low vibrational energy. Because what I'm doing when I was at that time was I drinking then? Yes, I still was drinking alcohol. And I just met some dude, and here we are getting it on. And like, ain't nothing there was in the heart. None of that shit was heart chakra related, okay? I was just all in lustful energy. And then when I was at the bachelorette party, I'm like, wow, so this is how the negative energies will change some shit up in you. There was married women there, okay? And it was married women being handled by this male dancer in a way that if you were sacred in your relationship, you would not have allowed this person to be on you or to do the things that they were doing. We're not saying what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. No, because God sees everything. I don't care what your location is. If you are in alignment with God, you would not allow yourself to be in positions or be in environments that is going to test your energy, period. Okay, I'm being honest, ladies. I'm being honest because at that time, I was already in separation mode, so I didn't even care, right? I was at a point of my marriages ended, let me have some fun. And I was all in low vibrational energy, unhealed, and just doing irresponsible things. And so we ended up hooking up a few times, and it was purely sex. That was it. And as I was going through my healing journey, God made me realize a plethora of things. The relationship had ended. The man was projecting heavily on me. I saw that he was unhealed, trying to tell me, if you're going to be my woman, you going to need to do this and you going to need to do that. No, nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells me what to do. The only entity that tells me anything is God, period. I am retired from the military. I have an abundant life. I travel the world and I have a good time, and you're not about to tell me to go sit down because your employment makes you stay in this one location. That's not what I do, but that's cool. I ended up maybe a few months later, a year later, God continues to give me these realizations. I texted this man and I apologized because literally all I did was use his body. He had a beautiful body, okay? He's a male dancer. He had a very beautiful body, but I did not honor him. I did not respect him. Obviously, you can't respect nobody that don't respect themselves. I wasn't respecting myself. He wasn't respecting himself. He was using his body as a tool, and that's how he was making extra income. He was, in fact, an actual fireman, and a damn good one, from what I was told. And, I commend him for that. He was putting his life daily in jeopardy to save others. But what he did in his part-time job was just very unbecoming of him and in his alignment with God. And anybody else that does any type of male exotic dancing thing, you're not in alignment with God, because you're using your body to grasp other low vibrational energies from other people to be in a lustful state. And that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. Why is there so many strip clubs around, right? Why is there that type of stuff with alcohol included? Because it is low vibrational energy, okay? And the message was, what is it that you are choosing as your profession, and how is that making you behave as a human being? Is it in alignment with God? When I had said in a couple of videos ago, the woman at the airport was just acting like so ridiculous, is because she chose an appointment that made her be in a type of position of power where she had lost her humanity. And I told you I was throwing all my shit away, because at that moment in time I had spent all the monies I did to get from one place, all the monies that I had to get from one place to the next place. And so I'm following God's orders, okay? I do what God tells me to do, and that's it. I mean, I question some things, but the whole point was follow God, right? And all of my actions, all of my words is follow God. And so in this particular woman, she was acting how she was acting, and she became soulless. There's so many jobs out here, like police officers, that it becomes the end of the month. Not only, that they murder other people, that is not in alignment with God. I don't care what they was doing, that they was robbing, they stealing. It's not for you to harm someone, especially when we were at a time, and we continue to be at a time where people of color were being targeted and these people are being murdered. That is not in alignment with God. Not ever is that in alignment with God. You take somebody's life and you're going to live with that for the rest of your life. And is it worth it? It's never going to be worth it, right? You're a judge, you're a lawyer, and you work for the prosecution, and you are doing things that are not in alignment. You're lying, you're just being conniving. People that are like all the physicians that was pushing these inoculations of poison with the COVID vaccines, knowing that this shit is harmful, that's not being in alignment with God. There's so many things that's out here that we be in positions and we sign contracts on paper with man to make so much money, and then your behaviors become out of alignment with God. So you always have to have that on the forefront of your mind on what you're doing and how you are. Let me tell you, God is always looking out for me, and God is always putting me in positions to teach and to learn. And there was one point in my travels, I have a digital mailbox, right? And so this woman from my insurance, what happened? My daughter called me because she was trying to get an updated prescription on her glasses. And she said that the insurance didn't allow it. I contact the insurance company and I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm paying my monthly bill. Like, why is my daughter not getting her insurance? And she said, I'm sorry, ma'am, we sent you a letter and you didn't respond because my daughter hit 21 and she was taken off. And unless she's a college student, can she still be back on insurance? I'm like, she is a college student. Like, what's going on? So she was like, I'm sorry, ma'am, I cannot assist you. I'm very polite on the phone. I'm like, damn, okay, you cannot assist me. I'm telling you my daughter is a college student. She's like, well, you didn't respond to the letter. And I'm like, I don't have a house. I have a digital mailbox. I did not answer the message. But if your job is telling you that you cannot assist me because of this black and white thing, then okay, so be it. I'll just pay the money out of my pocket so my daughter can get what she needs to get, because that's some bullshit. But okay, thank you for doing your job. I'm not mad at you. I'm upset with the system and the way it catches people up to do just the darndest things, right? And so whatever I had said to her, which was the truth, had triggered her. So what happened after that was I was in New York City at the time. I'm walking down the street and I get phone calls. If I don't have your number in my phone, I'm not answering it. It's going straight to voicemail. So this number is calling me. And I'm like, okay. I answer the phone and I'm like, House of God or something I say like that. And she's like, thank God, right? It was the same woman. She had called me back and she was like, look, I fixed what I needed to fix. Your daughter is in the system. She can get her insurance, right? She did whatever she did, the humane thing to do, despite the stupid loopholes that the system will create to prevent kindness, basically. It just, the way the system, this matrix, this reality is set up is to create energetic loopholes and traps to rile you up, to take your energy and piss you off. That's what this whole world is about. This whole world is running on energetic currency. We be thinking, or the matrix will have you think that it's about money, and it's not about money. Money is just an energy, and it'll create a lack mindset in this, or it's going to show you that you believe in yourself and that you are worthy and deserving. And so this matrix does so much to trap your energy and have you believing in the wrong thing when it's that energetic currency, and situations be set up to piss you off specifically so that you can react and project, right? All of my messages be talking about peace and love. And friends, if you are the type of person that is very reactive and you get triggered by situations and things that people say to you and it got you responding in ways that are not in alignment with God, right, with that peace, with that love and energy, then you caught up in the matrix and you caught up in the trap, right? You are supposed to be living an abundant life in peace and in love, and you will continue to be tested. And how you react and respond to every given situation is going to show, are you on that positive energy spectrum or are you on that negative energy spectrum, friends, right? This is what God continues to show me day in and day out. And how you respond is always going to show you your alignment with God, or are you unbalanced and you out of alignment with God in everything you do. And how do you know? Is how you feel, right? If you feel amazing and fantastic no matter what is going on, then you in alignment with God. If you doing shit that got you feeling like regretful and revengeful and bitter and all that kind of stuff, then you out of alignment with God. Okay, so the lady hooked me up in that situation. Why? Because I'm in alignment with God all the time. Every time some shit happens, and I always respond with kindness and peace and love, despite what's happening. Because like, if there's any issues with your cell phone company, or you got to contact customer service or whatever, and you are mad at that individual, it's not that individual's problem, okay? That person is doing their job. Unfortunately, people be doing their job so good in the fake matrix that they forget their own humanity. But when I say things to people and it be triggering them, and they be like, oh shit, right? Because my words are supposed to bring awareness and consciousness, right? So that you can go inward and see, where am I right now? Like, damn, why did I just do that? Am I operating unconsciously, or am I being conscious in my actions, right? And so that's what my words do to people. Like, I don't be getting up here talking about shit for views of entertainment, trying to destroy stuff, and I don't really care to be posting pictures about where I'm at all the time. Like, this world is beautiful, and I hope every single one of you that watch this, you get out in this world and you go and explore it for yourself. My videos are solely for the awakening to your consciousness, for you to see life for what it is. This is a whole fucking matrix, right? Like, I want you to see beyond the veil. It's not what I want. This is what God wants. This is an awakening time, right? We have the collapse of civilizations, of all the wrongdoings. It's that time. Shit is happening in the world, friends, and you need to be aware. You gonna be a part of the crumble, or you gonna be a part of the rise. That's the only options that's happening right now, right? So this is what my videos are. God put stuff on my heart, and I speak the message. And it's always about peace and love and becoming in alignment and being aware of what the fuck you doing, and how you're operating inside of this illusion, okay? So you can be awakened to the real reality of what's going on in your reactions and how you respond into life, okay? So in meditation, the whole thing was, don't be fooled, first of all, by Hollywood. Hollywood is like an example through their movies of what they teach, what you think you should be doing, okay? And how you think you should be behaving. Life is a love story, but it comes with hills and valleys, and sometimes it's tough. But you can get over the toughness by being consciously aware of your actions, and be aware of your own behavior you be doing out here, right? Because every time I be watching those movies, although I was all into the Scandal TV show and Sex in the City and stuff like that, what I would always question was, damn, if these people married, like, how is they partner feeling about them being on set, especially when I see sex scenes. Like, I was watching 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm like, damn, if this people is married, and even if they not married, how many people was on set while they nude or partially nude or damn near naked? You know what I'm saying? Like, how, like, if your body is a sacred temple and you just on set and people gawking on you, like, how sacred is your temple? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you honoring yourself, or because you got paid this X amount of dollars check, now it doesn't matter how sacred you are, because obviously you got a price tag, right? Like, somebody can give you this much money and you taking all your clothes off. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you valuing yourself? Like, do you have integrity with your own self? Obviously not. Obviously not if you're able to get paid and dishonor yourself in your relationship because, you know, you got a sex scene. You know what I'm saying? I respect Denzel Washington with all of his scenes, except for one, I believe it was like in Malcolm X, because he was portraying the life of Malcolm X, where he kissed, I think they said he has a read or heard somewhere that he doesn't kiss Caucasian women. That's something that he held up. I mean, he is still married, and I haven't seen all of his movies, but like, if you married and you kissing anybody in any scene, then that's wrong. You dishonoring your marriage. I don't care how much you're getting paid. You can get every fucking coin and every dollar on the planet. That don't make it correct if you are dishonoring your marriage. And that's where Hollywood got people fooled at in that type of behavior, or whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like what was that? The Hangover, right? Like you out here doing dumb shit because you about to get married and tied a knot. That does not dispute that you just dishonored that person. If you promise someone that you're going to be with them, whether you put the ring on or not, if that's the commitment that you made with a person, then you're dishonoring them, right? And that's something that you need to keep in the forefront of your mind. Not only the commitment that you made with that person, but what about your commitment with God? These days, being a healed being, walking around on this planet, God is always on my mind. 24 hours, 7 days a week, God is always on my mind, on the type of being that I am. And if I am not doing something correctly, God is going to show me instantly, like, okay, that's like, where did that come from? You know, like I need to be working on some shadow work. There's some things that maybe have triggered me that I need to heal. God is going to show me that, right? Because I have opened myself up to this positive connection with God force energy. No weapons formed against me shall ever prosper. And friends, no weapons formed against you shall ever prosper too. You got to be in alignment with God. If your life is not going right, and I said this in yesterday's video, that had whatever energy frequencies kind of distort the video, you got to be in alignment with God, because if your life isn't going right, that is the first cue, the sign that something isn't right. And you need to go inward. You need to go inward and check yourself and see what's going on in your life, friends, period. Okay, I beat that enough. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. If you haven't taken the time out to subscribe yet, please subscribe, like, and share this video. I want this message to get out to as much people as possible. We are in a time of healing, okay? This is an awakening. We have been disconnected as a whole from God for way too long. And this is why you see a lot of truths coming to light, especially with the governments. They are trying as hard as they can to keep us subdued, to keep us asleep. They are vaccinating animals, yo, because we already woke the fuck up from COVID. We ain't taking these vaccines no more. And they vaccinating animals as if animals needed vaccines. They putting all the poisons on the fruits and the vegetables, and they poison in the skies, and this fluoride in the water. It's a lot of shit going on in this world. And friends, you need to be paying attention. You cannot be asleep, because it does affect you, okay? It does affect you. Now, you're going to be a part of the healing, or you're going to be a part of the blindness. Like, it's still going to affect you, friends, right? These messages are powerful. I'm all about love and I'm all about light, but I'm about the truth, right? I'm about the truth, and the truth be hard to hear sometimes. And you have to pay attention to what is going on in this world. And you start by paying attention to what's going on within you. And are you being a contributor to the healing or the hurt on this planet? Period, right? Are you being a contributor, right? Question that, question that. Get back in alignment with God's source. Stay faithful. You are magical, amazing, the most joy-filled human existence, friends. So have an amazing existence. What is going on this planet? See, there you go. There that energy go right there. Just tried to shut off my internet. Anyway, I love you. I love you. I love you so much, friends. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you the next time. Bye.